list of Meghan's ex-lovers leaked. Harry forces Meg sign the divorce paper after her past exposed. Prince Harry isn't Meghan Markle's first husband. But you probably knew that already because, in the lead-up to their star-studded royal wedding, Meghan was repeatedly referred to, among many other things, as the divorced American. Now, certain members of the press have decided to once again focus on Meghan's past, with baseless reports of her messaging Matt Cardle, sent before she met Prince Harry, I hasten to add, have become front-page news. The Sun, as ever, is at the front of the pack, salaciously poring over the details of Matt and Meghan's non-relationship. According to their report, Matt followed Meghan as he was a fan of Suits, the show Meghan starred in at the time. In 2015, Meghan then sent him a message to say she was a fan of his, too. They had some back and forth, but then Matt met his now-girlfriend, Amber Herneman, and stopped replying to Meghan. This splash feels less juicy celebrity gossip and more woman once spoke to man, but that hasn't stopped people on social media losing their minds over it all. On Twitter, the Duchess has been labelled as desperate, with some laughing over the fact that she managed to bag herself a prince after being ghosted by a painter and decorator. What do we even call the shaming of women for simply being interested in the idea of a man? Is it still slut-shaming if, as far as we know, they never met, never kissed, never slept together? The stories about Meghan, Matt and Liz's matchmaking are less about judging a woman's promiscuity and more about the idea of ownership, that once a woman has engaged with a man, in any context, they shouldn't engage with any other. That they should not aspire to a real connection or to meet someone who they love or want, but to accept the first choice or get what they are given. The idea that a DM, direct message, for those not down with their acronyms, is symbolic of a deeper commitment, and that Meghan shouldn't move on after sending one, only serves to highlight our extreme expectations of women. We still, in 2019, demand them to be chaste, virginal, in a way we definitely don't with men. It is worth noting that no one is shaming Matt for talking to Meghan before he met Amber. And no one has mentioned the multiple women Harry dated in the years before he found love with Meghan. And yet, for some reason, the relationships Meghan has had, and even the messages she has exchanged, aren't exactly scandalous. One was a loving marriage that sadly ended. The other was a message exchange with an artist whom she was a fan of and who, note, was a fan of hers. It wasn't smooth sailing for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle in the run-up to their fairy-tale royal wedding, as the couple were reportedly surrounded by tense arguments and fallouts. Investigative journalist Tom Bauer included such stories when he released his bombshell book Revenge, Meghan, Harry and the War Between the Windsors earlier this year. The reporter spoke to 80 sources close to the couple, and went into detail on many events, including the palace forcing Suits bosses to make changes to the show after the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's relationship became public. Despite all the bombshell revelations from the book, one of the most prominent stories was when Harry's friends called him F-nuts for dating Meghan after she challenged their jokes with her woke values. According to Bauer, the Duke invited 16 close friends from Eton for a weekend trip which included dinner at Sandringham on Friday, shooting on Saturday and then lunch on Sunday, reports The Mirror. The author writes that Harry was looking forward to endless banter with his best friends, but everyone left exhausted after meeting Meghan for the first time as she challenged every guest who contravened her woke values. He goes on to claim that Meghan lacked any sense of humor and was a dampener on the party. Sense of